The alien warrior hurled a spear at him, but he caught it. Now, by ancient law, she is his forever. The arena was a furnace of noise. Stone walls rose high above the fighting pit, packed with roaring spectators, alien throats bellowing in dozens of dialects. Torches hissed against the humid night air. Dust swirled beneath the twin moons as the gates clanged open. And through them strode the alien warrior. She was tall, armored in gleaming plates of obsidian, her skin marked with jagged crimson tattoos that pulsed faintly in the torchlight. Her eyes, gold and burning, locked on him with the intensity of a predator sizing up prey. The crowd fell silent as she raised her spear. Jace swallowed hard. He was human, lighter, weaker, an outsider dragged into this nightmare by slavers who thought a Terran in the pits would be amusing sport. He had fought for days, barely surviving, learning with every breath how much weaker he was than those around him. But now he was facing her. The undefeated champion of the Tsar clans. A living legend. The horns blared. The duel began. The spear. She moved first. Lightning fast. The spear left her hand with a crack of displaced air, spinning end over end. The crowd gasped, already tasting blood. Jace should have died then. The weapon was too fast, too perfect. But instinct, pure, desperate instinct, took over. His hand shot up. Fingers clenched around cold steel. The spear stopped, quivering in his grip. For a heartbeat, the world was silent. Then the arena erupted. The alien warrior froze, golden eyes wide. Around them, the crowd howled, some in rage, some in awe. Because by the oldest law of the Tsar, a law older than their empires, older than their wars, if a thrown spear was caught bare-handed, the bond of claim was sealed. The thrower belonged to the catcher. Forever. The shock. Jace stared at the weapon trembling in his grip, not fully comprehending. The warrior's chest heaved, her face hidden behind a carved mask of bone. She approached slowly, each step echoing through the pit. The crowd fell into a hush, waiting. She stopped before him. Her hand rose to her mask, and with deliberate grace, she pulled it free. Her face was fierce, angular, marked with crimson tattoos that crawled like fire across her cheekbones. But her expression was not rage. It was surrender. "I am yours," she said in a low, guttural voice. The translator chip in Jace's ear trembled to keep up. "By law and by blood. I am bound." The spear slipped from his hand, clattering to the dirt. I don't understand," Jace stammered. "You caught the spear." Her voice held no room for doubt. "You claimed me." The crowd roared their approval, the thunder of their voices shaking the very stone. The bond. They dragged him from the arena not as a prisoner, but as a victor. For the first time since his capture, chains did not bite his wrists. Instead, he walked beside her, the warrior, whose name he soon learned was Koresh. The slavers were furious, but powerless. Ancient law was absolute. To defy it meant war with the clans. In the chambers of the victor, Koresh knelt before him. Her armor was set aside, leaving only ceremonial wrappings. She bowed her head. "My life is yours," she said. "My strength, my blood, my breath. Command me, and I obey." Jace's stomach churned. He didn't want a servant. He didn't want a slave. "I don't command you," he said softly. "I don't own you." Her eyes flicked up, burning with confusion. "You caught the spear. I only wanted to live." Koresh tilted her head, studying him. No one had ever spoken those words to her, not challengers, not suitors, not even enemies. To catch the spear was to claim victory, dominance, eternity. Yet this fragile human rejected it. "You are strange," she murmured. "Yeah," Jace muttered. "I get that a lot." The clash of worlds. Days became weeks. Koresh stayed by his side, bound not by chains but by choice, or at least by what she believed was law. She guarded him, taught him, guided him through the labyrinthine politics of the Tsar. He learned their rituals, their songs, their history carved into scars on stone. He learned that Koresh was not merely a champion, she was heir to a warlord's throne, burdened with expectations heavier than her armor. And he learned that the bond between them was unbreakable in her eyes. But the more he came to know her, the more he realized something startling. She was not chained. She was free, for the first time. Because she had lived her entire life under duty, under clan law, under the weight of a spear she could never put down. Until he caught it. Until he changed everything. The threat. It could not last. The warlords gathered, furious that a human had bound their greatest warrior. They saw weakness in Koresh's bond, an insult to their traditions. They demanded blood. On the night of the convergence, as fires burned in the great stone halls, a council of warlords rose against them. Jace and Koresh stood alone before the fury of 100 alien leaders. "Release her," the High Warlord thundered, his tusked jaw snapping. "Break the bond and die cleanly." Jace's voice was steady, though his knees shook. "I didn't bind her. She chose to stay." Gasps rippled through the hall. Koresh stepped forward, spear in hand, her voice like thunder. "This human speaks truth. I remain not as captive, but as mate." The warlords erupted, weapons drawn, voices clashing. But none dared move. Because Koresh was champion. And champion's law was sacred. The choice. That night, away from the council, Jace and Koresh stood beneath the moons. The air was heavy with unspoken words. "You risked everything," he said quietly. "You freed me," she replied. "All my life, I fought for clan and law. Now I fight for myself. For us." Jace's chest tightened. He wanted to deny it, to push her away, to say they came from worlds too different to ever join. But when she looked at him, fierce, scarred, unyielding, he knew the truth. He had not caught the spear by chance. He had caught her. Epilogue. Forever. Months later, the arena roared again. But this time, Jace was not a prisoner. He stood at Koresh's side, her hand in his, as the warlords bowed in grudging respect. The ancient laws had been fulfilled. The champion and her chosen had become one. The human who caught the spear was no longer outsider, no longer prey. He was bound. And Koresh, the warrior who had once sworn her life to law alone, was his forever. Not as possession, but as partner, as love.